You're listening to Storage Nerds Podcast, where we unravel the best-kept secret of the real estate investing world, the storage industry. Join the grassroots guru in self-storage, Stacy Rossetti, in insightful discussions about finding, funding, and running these spaces, allowing you to yield the highest returns possible. Get your foot in the door on self-storage and discover how to properly purchase facilities, negotiate with sellers, and close the deal without worries. Start unpacking that investment wisdom with Stacy right now.
Thank you guys for hopping on. If this is your first time, welcome. And if it's not, then go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. I'd love to know like where you're located, and also if you can hear me, and just make sure everything is good. Okay. And yeah, so this is like a Christmas present to myself is what this is. So that way I can actually stand up here and teach and write stuff down and show you guys visual maps and all kinds of stuff like this. So again, thank you for hopping on. For everybody that's new, I'm Stacy Rossetti. I teach people how to invest in self-storage, and I'm looking forward to spending every Monday night with you guys. This session is completely free for anybody that wants to listen to me, and hopefully I can inspire you to get out there and look for some storage facilities to purchase. Let me turn this light on here. Is this too late? Is this too dark here or no? I mean, too light? Does that help? Does that help? Okay, maybe that helps a little bit. Yeah. Okay, good. So I see Steven is from Japan. All right, all the way from Japan. Awesome. And then Tony is from Omaha. Introduce yourself in the chat while everybody starts coming on. And let me know kind of like where you're at. Are you a newbie? Do you own any storage facilities? We own 11 storage facilities ourselves. And then we also own 2 in the fund that we have. We have a fund. I'm going to see if I can make this. Oh, no, I can't do it. Pen? No, I can't do this. There it goes. Yeah. So so we have 2. We have 11 personally, and then we have 2 in the fund. The fund is called the Self-Storage Fund of America. And this is for anybody that is interested in like passive investing in self-storage. You should definitely check out the fund. I pitched the fund after this session. So you can always go to stacyrossetti.com/fund, right? Stacy Rossetti. Is that too fat? Okay, hang on. I feel like that's too fat. Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay. And so, yeah, so stacyrossetti.com/fund, all right, is the website for the fund. And I'll pitch that right after this, okay? And let's see what else. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about last week. We went over self-storage, like self-storage 101. And these are all live sessions, so make sure you show up on the Monday nights. And we're trying to really get a bit more organized on how we teach. So just as a reminder for everybody that's new, we're teaching on the first week of every month, the first Monday of every month. It's going to be self-storage 101. All right. So we'll do the first Monday. Is self-storage Monday is self-storage 101. And then the second Monday is going to be find them. And then the third is fund them. And then the fourth is run them. Okay. And if there happens to be a fifth, it's just going to be like a bonus session. And we'll have probably like one of my students come on and like talk about, how they found their facility and they're running it and things like that. Okay. So that's kind of like, that's how we're trying to get a little bit more organized. So just so everybody knows, like that's what our month plan is going to look like. So last week was our first week because I didn't do the first Tuesday. So we did self-storage 101, and this week we're doing find them. All right. So what I'm going to do today is talk about, and I said I would do this week, is I'm going to be doing scripts. There's 2 different types of scripts. Okay. And so what we'll do is we'll talk about, there's two scripts we're going to go over. One of the scripts is going to be when you're calling an owner and asking them if they want to get an offer. Right? Remember, we never ask an owner if they want to sell their property, because if you ask an owner if they want to sell their property, they're going to say no, right? So what we want to do instead is we want to ask them if they want an offer, right? So the first script is going to be a call to owner. Owner, do I spell that right? Sorry. For offer. And then the second one is going to be that we're going to go over today is when you put the offer in. When you put the offer in, what do you say to the owner to get them to, really think about their the offer that you gave them? All right. And like over the course of the last 6 months or so, because we have like internally, we have 10 virtual assistants that do nothing but call owners and talk to owners. And really, we've fine-tuned these scripts. So I'm going to give these scripts to you guys today. And it's just like based on just thousands and thousands of calls, because our VAs from like when we started training our virtual assistants like 6 months ago until now, they've called probably around 5,000 owners each, and we have 10 of them. So we've called 50,000 owners in the last like 6 months. And just talking and of the ones that we get a hold of, really talking to them and really fine-tuning how we present to them in order to get them to want to talk to us. First on the trying to get them for the offer. And then the second one is once the offer is given to them, right? So I don't know what that's called. All right, so we need a good name for these. I don't have any good names for them or anything. But okay, so that's the two scripts that we're going to go over, and I'm going to show you kind of some of the scripts that we've been using to do these and get owners at least to talk to us and to accept our offers. Okay. All right, the first thing that I wanted to do too is I wanted to go over the call sheet that we have. So essentially the way that we work, okay, is we cold call owners. All right, we cold call owners. If you're following me, you guys all know that, one of your very first steps is that you're building this list of like storage facility owners, especially if you're going to be in a tertiary market, especially if you're going to be in a market that's smaller, because primary market is easy to get storage facility information, right? Because it's like everywhere, everybody's on Google Maps. All right. And then secondary market, it gets a little bit difficult, right? So some storage facilities are on Google Maps and some storage facilities are not on Google Maps. So make sure in order to find storage facilities in a secondary market or in a tertiary market, and tertiary is the word TIERTARY. All right. Let's see if that works. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Cool. So tertiary is another word for country. All right. So out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So so especially in tertiary markets, there is hardly any data for storage. So tertiary markets is country, and then in the country, hardly, I wouldn't say hardly any, but a lot of storage facilities are not on Google Maps. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're building the list, all right, and taking care of this, because you just can't find a lot of storage facilities, or and you want to be able to build this list. So that's why I was trying to bring up tertiary. Okay, and so you're building the list, and once you build this list, you're putting it into like some sort of a spreadsheet or something like this, keeping track of it, right? And then after that, right, you're going to go to the call sheet. And actually, I wanted to pull the call sheet up. So you're going to have a list of names, either secondary or tertiary markets. And you're going to, hang on, let me pull this up so I can pull this up. Yeah, here it is. I got it. I tried to open everything and get it ready, you know, so you guys can all see it. Okay. So this sheet here, and it's kind of hard to see actually on this. So we're going to figure out how to get this to be zoomed in better. I wonder if I can zoom this in. Yeah, I can. Okay. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better here. So I promise I'll get better at this. But this is what we call the seller call sheet. And this is the sheet that you get, like you basically use when you're on the phone talking to an owner and taking all of the information down. Okay. And so you can see kind of what it looks like is just at the top of the sheet. You have the facility name and their address, and you have, you know, where you got it from is the lead source. Okay. And then, so you could say like Google Maps, or you got it on whatever, you found it on Facebook or whatever. Okay. And then the contact person is the name, you know, it's the person that you talk to. So if you talk to the owner, obviously it's the owner, but if you talk to a manager, it'd be the manager, right? And then the email, right? And we try to get the emails so that we can, you know, contact them via email, right? And then address of the facility, and then the cell phone and the website. So just basic contact information, right? And then let me see if I can get this up. I can't. I wish there was a way to like pop this out, but I can't figure out how to do that yet. It's all right. We'll just leave it the way it is, and we'll figure it out from this time. So these are the scripts right here. Okay. So this is like, I'm going to give you a lot of different scripts. So you could like just pick the ones that you want, but these are the ones that we've paired with our students. And then also we give to the VAs so that they can call. Okay. So when they talk to the owner, basically they're saying like, hi, my name is blank. And I'm in the area just calling owners to see if they're interested in getting an offer. I'm trying to buy my first facility and get my foot in the door into this industry. Right. So, and then I wanted to just point out on this, what I tell my students when they're talking to the owners, and you make sure that you're talking to the owner directly, like you're not talking to the manager. If you talk to the manager, essentially say, look, I'm trying to get a hold of the owner. Most managers are not going to give you owner information, but if they do give you the owner information, you know, that's awesome. But I would say most aren't. If they don't, actually, what I was going to say too, if they don't give you the owner information, then what you want to do is you want to use some sort of a skip tracing software in order to get the owner information. We use Crexy, all right, but you don't have to use Crexy. I'm not going to get into Crexy today. I've gone over Crexy a lot, you know, in the past. So it does cost money every month to have Crexy. So if you don't want to spend that money every single month, and you need like a skip tracing company that can give you the owner's information for the facility, right? So you could use like, you know, whatever, Skip Wizard or, you know, Been Verified or something like this, all right? But these scripts, these are all going directly to the owner, not to the managers. The managers, we don't talk to. There's no reason really to talk to them because most of the time they say no. Every once in a while, you'll get some random manager that'll be like, oh yeah, here's the phone number or whatever. But most of them will say, I'll send a message. And then like they never get the message. Now me as an owner of storage facilities, like we tell the people that answer the phone, we tell them if anybody is calling us and asking if you know they can talk to us about like, you know, giving us an offer on the facility, then, you know, tell them, you know, give them our information, give their email to me. So give them my email, and then I can talk to them because I'll always take an offer, right? But most managers do not think this way, right? So you want to like sidestep them, and you want to skip trace and get the owner's information. Okay, and we do this by using like, you know, Been Verified or White Pages. We do use White Pages for a lot of stuff. It seems to be one of the websites that kind of gives you the most detailed information outside of Crexy. I love Crexy because Crexy gives you email addresses and everything, but it is $100 a month. And also, if you're interested in getting Crexy, then just let us know, because you get, like, it's typically $150 a month, but through us, you'll get it for $100 a month. Okay. Anyways, okay. So this is us talking to the owner. You found the owner. And now when you talk to the owner, you want to be as like real and authentic and vulnerable as you can be. Right. So you don't want to be like some, like, you know, bigwig that like knows what they're talking about and has a lot of facilities and stuff. Because typically in these smaller facilities and like secondary and tertiary market, they are going to connect with you better if you're just like a regular person. Okay. And what I've learned, I'm going to tell you, all of the owners that I've ever bought facilities from or talked to, and I talk to owners every week. Every week I talk to them, either through Zoom or on the phone. And they all are just like regular people, and they just, you know, they want to connect with people. If they're going to sell something to you, then they want to be like, they want to connect to you, right? That's what, especially when you're calling owners and they're not thinking about selling. Right. So these are not like properties that are listed on Crexy or LoopNet. These are like just regular owners. And so what I've learned is that you just want to be like as real and authentic as possible. Okay. So I always tell all my students, you know, say, look, this is like I just want to get into the industry. This is my very first deal. Honestly, like I'm just calling all of the owners in the area. This is the area where I want to buy a storage facility. So what I'm doing right now is just calling all the owners and introducing themselves to me and just seeing if you'd be interested in getting an offer. And, if you're interested in getting an offer, I just need like a few things from you. And then I could just give you like an offer on your property, And that's really how that's how I do it on the phone. And that's how my students do it as well too. So be as authentic as you possibly can. And so that's what that is right here. The first one is like, just saying like, look, I'm just new in the industry, putting my foot, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Would you be interested in getting an offer? Okay. And that's kind of where it is. A lot of people say no. A lot of people want to talk to you on the phone. They'll talk to you and they'll really kind of just tell you their story. You just listen. And in the end, they'll say like, yeah, I'll take an offer. Like, no, I'm not ready. Or no, I'm going to, give it to my daughter or whatever it is. Okay. So, and then, you just say, look, and then after, if they say no to you, then what you want to do is you want to say like, okay, no problem. Is it okay if I send you a letter with all my information on it? And you could just hold on to that. And if you ever think about like selling, or if you ever want an offer, that you could just, take it out of your file. And especially when they're older owners, they always got a file that they put their letters in. They always have a file. I'm telling you. I have many, many owners that have called me up and said, yes, I'm ready to sell now. I have your letter in my file and I've opened it up and I'm giving you a call. I have many, many owners that have done that before. Okay. So I would do that. I would just, see if you can send them a letter. All right. And then send them a letter that's basically saying like, hey, we talked on the phone. It was great talking to you. Or you could send them an email. If they actually give you the email address, send them an email. And this is what we do internally as well too, is we send them an email out that, that'll say, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for, spending a couple minutes on the phone with me. Just please keep this email because we're open to giving out offers whenever you want an offer. Okay, we'll just give you an offer. Okay, so that's that. So that's what this first section says. It says, yeah. So and then it'll say something like, tell me a little bit about the facility and how long have you had it, right? So, tell me the story behind it. How have you been managing it? So then they'll get in and they'll talk about like their facility is what they'll do for a few minutes. And that's really just to like kind of warm them up a little bit and hear their story, right? Because every storage facility owner, they got a story, you know what I'm saying? Did you build or develop? Okay, so this one says, did you build or develop the facility? Did you purchase the facility? Oh gosh, no, it's working. Okay, so did you build or develop the facility or did you purchase the facility? Would you be interested in getting a free analysis on your property so that when it comes time that you want to sell your property, you'll have an idea of how much it's worth, right? So that goes back to, would you be interested in getting an offer on it? Or would you be interested in getting some sort of an analysis on it? I'll give you an analysis on your property and then you can take a look at it. It's just a free analysis is what it is. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, when you say this, a lot of people say, yeah, sure. I'd be open to that. Okay, so would you be interested in getting a free analysis on your property? Okay, And then another thing that I always tell my students is always try to get the price from the owner. Ask them, do you have a price in mind? Because the truth is, I always say, like, of 80% of all of the offers that we send, 80% of all the offers that we send, they like, you send over an offer and then they'll tell you, like, you're not even close. And it's like, okay, so why didn't you tell me your price in the first time, in the first place, so that we could give you, like, a price that's close to that? Because obviously what we're going to send over is like way super conservative, you know what I'm saying? Because it is, it's like a lot of times it's like really conservative, our first offer, because we don't know, what they want. So we try to eliminate that. We try to eliminate that one step where it's like, if you send over an offer and they're telling you that you're like way off, right? That's like the one thing I really, really hate. It's like, if you already knew that number in your mind, and why did you not tell us this number, And and it's like, this is whole like negotiation thing, which I think is a bunch of BS anyways. But, like, just like, come on, let's just get the number. But so we came up with like a script for that as well, too. That's been working very, very well. And the script is, we can come up with an offer, but essentially, if you don't give us a price, it could be a lower offer than expected. And we don't want to do that, because we like to create fair offers. If you have a price in mind, or if you've been offered something and turned it down, can you tell us what that number is so that we have something to start with? All right, so that's what this says right here. Let's see if I can make this bigger. How do you make this bigger? Oh, okay, that's too big. Okay, there it is. Let's see. I'm kind of getting it. Okay. We came up with an offer, but essentially, if you don't give us a price, it could be a lower offer than expected. And we don't want to do that, because we like to create fair offers. If you have a price in mind, or if you've been offered something and turned it down, can you tell us what that number is so that we have something to start with? Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's the script. You can just screenshot this, and then you could take this down. And we're not going to write the scripts down. Okay. Just so everybody knows. Okay. So that's the scripts that we've been using. That's just a couple of scripts. I'm going to go over a couple more here just a second. And then let me see if I can get this up here. Cool. Yeah. Okay. One finger when I'm moving? No. One finger when I'm moving? No. And I'm trying to move it up? Oh, no, I'm at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So now this is a matrix that we have, that we use to fill out the unit mix. Because when you're asking the owner, for information, this is what you basically need, right? Is you need like number of units, the square foot, the unit square foot, the total square foot, the monthly rent, the gross monthly rent, and the gross annual potential. Okay, so this is kind of our little matrix that we get to fill out. We ask for the asking price, right, from our script. Up here, we ask for the annual reported income, the total square footage, the total property square footage, the vacancy rate, the property taxes, the utilities, the insurance, and any other reported income. Okay, so this is what we ask for. This sheet, there's two places that you can get this call sheet. One of them is in my course. This is available in my course. And the second is if you are a student. Those are the only two places. So this is not like a free sheet, all right? But I'm showing it to you guys so you can make it on your own if you want to, or you can buy the course and get it there with all the other goodies that are in the course, right? Okay. Let me see what else. Okay, so now let me figure this out. Okay, let me see if I have any other scripts. I think I have a couple other scripts, but I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Okay, so here's this one as well too, and this is available to all students inside the coaching program. This is like the phone script as well too. Okay. Hello, my name is John with Mona Mini Storage. How can I help you? Hi, my name is Sherbeen, and I work within blah 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 storage business. I work in the storage business. do you know if the owner would consider a cash offer for the property? Right, or would you an offer? Yeah. So, well, I'm the manager. What can I help you with? Awesome. The reason for my call is to see if the owner would consider a cash offer for the facility. No, he's not selling. Sorry. Okay, if not, I see. Can I leave you my contact information just in case he ever changes his mind or decides to sell? Or if he says yes, he's taking offers. Yes, great. How can I reach him? Ask for the owner's contact details. If the manager is the one giving the info, ask these questions. Can you please confirm if the facility is located? Da 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 da. Yes, it is. What's the unit mix? Okay. How many 5x10s, 10x10s, 10x15s? And then how much do you charge for 5x10s? Again, ask for the price for each unit mix. They give you the size, quantity, and the price all at once, right? So just be ready to write everything down. And just to be clear, the facility has blank number of units. This question is optional because we can determine if the total number of units is there. Okay, so this is like if a manager answers the phone, right? If you want to try to see if you want to talk to them. So this is one of the scripts that I pulled up for us as well. Okay. Okay, so that's one of the scripts. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Okay. Okay, all right. So now let's go back to the canvas. Okay, so I gave you like some scripts on how to talk to owners on the front end. When you talk to an owner, you be authentic, right? Try to be as authentic as you can. Let them know the truth that you're like, just trying to find a storage facility to buy. And then also ask them what price they want, right? Ask them what price they want. If you can get it out of them, and I would say like probably 50% give you the price. And I love when owners give you the price because then you can really say like, okay, this price is like way, and that's another thing we're gonna do. If the owner gives the price, I'll show you kind of a couple of scripts. If it's like a price that's like way too high, then I'll give you a script on like, this is how we came up with the offer, And so I'll do that here in just a second, but you got to be authentic, ask for the price and get all those questions, all of the information. Now, once you get that information from the script, you're going to take that information and put it into the deal analyzer, whichever deal analyzer that you use. All right. So you could use ours if you purchase ours, or you could use whichever one, some commercial deal analyzer. And then you can determine what your offer is going to be. Now, through our deal analyzer, you can use the magic letter. I call it the magic letter. I call the scripts you're about to see, I call those the magic scripts because it really gets owners to like talk to you. But the magic letter is in the deal analyzer that you can use to give offers, or you can, just write your own offer or give your own offer that way as well too. Okay. So, so be authentic. And then, so now we are now these are the scripts of where we are giving the owner the offer. We've ran the numbers. We've gotten everything that we've needed to run the numbers. And then we give the offer to them. Actually, let me just pull that up. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of scripts. Okay. And we're going to go through and try to figure out, how we could do this. These are mine. Let me see. Okay, this is a whole bunch of different versions of us kind of saying the same thing. And let me do fit. Hang on. Okay, go down. Okay. So here's the script to use when sellers want a crazy price. Okay. I ran the numbers. This is what my VAs say. Okay. I ran the numbers with Stacy, and this is what she came up with. Because you're in a town of less than 15,000, and it's considered a tertiary market, we cannot pay a super low cap rate. And the $1.2 million asking price that you have calculates to a 4 cap. This is a way low cap rate for us. And the reason being is that there's no bank that will finance a facility for that low in your market or in any market right now based on the current market conditions. As you know, interest rates were raised again yesterday and will be raised again twice this year. The bank will want a 1.3 DSR, and at the $1.2 million price that you're asking, that's coming out to, the DSR is coming out to a 0.92. And it's impossible to achieve that at a $1.2 million asking price. On top of that, we need our cash on cash return to be at 10% or higher. And the only way we can achieve this is by lowering the purchase price. If you're open to owner financing, you'll be able to make an additional $200,000 and save money on your taxes. Would you be interested in meeting Stacy on Zoom to discuss how we can work together? Okay, so in a script like this, there's like a couple of things that I want to point out. They're like super important when you're talking to owners. Okay, let me see. Oh my God, I hope I don't screw this up. All right, first of all, you want to know what the population of your town is, right? So remember I said primary, secondary, and tertiary markets. So what that means is that every one of your markets has a different cap rate. So a 4 cap would maybe work in a primary market, but in the current market conditions, a 4 cap is like really not that good of a cap rate, right? Even in a primary market, unless it's like a severely mismanaged facility. All right, so you want to know the cap rate, and you want to know the population of the city, so of the area that they're in. And usually I go like off a 10-mile radius is what I do. So especially in tertiary markets, 10-mile radius is like kind of normal. Secondary market, you could do 5 to 10 miles, and then like in a primary market, obviously you want to be like, you know, as close as possible. But you want to say like, look, that you're in a town of 15,000 people. Like, this is not a primary market. All right, this is a tertiary market. And I know in your mind, you're thinking that this property is like worth $1.2 million. But really, you know, because of your location and the current market conditions, your property is not worth a 4 cap. That's just not how it is. And the truth is, right now, banks are not going to fund that. A bank right now, what's the interest rates for a bank? A bank is like prime plus 2. All right, it could be up to 9%. I mean, we're trying to get a loan on a facility right now, and they want like 9%. So, you know, when you have a really high interest rate, and there's nothing wrong with high interest rates, but when you have a really high interest rate, you need to have to lower the price in order to make the DSR, right? And we're explaining that a bank is going to want a 1.3 DSR, all right? And that's like the debt service ratio. And that's just a number that the bank has, right? That says like, look, this is where we want you to be with your debt. All right. And when we run the numbers, we're coming up with 0.92 at 1.2 million. And these are the blanks that you would fill in. Whatever I'm circling or underline is kind of what you would fill in, right? You know, and just based on the market conditions and where we are right now with the Fed raising the interest rates every month or every couple of months, like you have to consider that, you know, the interest rate is going to be super high. Our interest rate is going to be at like 9%. You know, you could also pay, like, the interest rate right now is prime plus, you know, 1.5 to 2. So we're coming in at like 9% right now for the banks. That's like how much it's costing. All right. So, you know, so your $1.2 million, it's that number's not going to work if we have to go to a bank and get a loan. All right. But if you're open to owner financing, then you could make money. If you can owner finance it, you'll make an extra couple $100,000 by owner financing it to us. And we're okay with paying a little bit more on the deal because we don't have to go to a bank and get the loan. Okay. So this is the script that we're using. This is like the magic script, but I want to just kind of point out a couple of different, maybe it's not this way. Oh God, please tell me I can add this. Yeah, let me point it out here. Oh, that's it. Okay, good. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is another different way of us saying the same thing. Because the banks are getting ultra conservative right now, we're running our numbers at 25% down and 6% interest, right? I'm sorry. Okay, so let me go back to this and click out of that, mark it up, and then just do 25% down, 6%. Obviously, the 6% is now up, right? And they require a 1.3 DSR. At your asking price of $675, this is unachievable because your DSR comes out to 0.86. If we need to get a bank to finance this purchase price, we'll need to be at $500,000. So here I'm telling them, if you want us to go to a bank and get a loan, then your number has to be here. Okay. But if you're open to owner financing, then we can offer you much better offers. Please take a look at all 4 of our offers and let us know your thoughts. The owner financing offer will get you well above your asking price, right? And the reason why an owner financing offer is such a great way to do it is because you're paying that interest to them. You know, so, and the thing is like it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Do you want to go to a bank and get a loan and pay the bank to get rich? Or do you want to have this guy owner finance to you and then like have a win-win situation with this person, right? So that's kind of what that's kind of where we're looking on that. Let me see, let me X out of this, and then let's do the same one. Okay, this is the pricing one that we have. This is the one that I already went over. And then this one here, let me get the other one here. Okay, so this is the final script. Okay, so this is basically kind of what it looks like from y'all's perspective, okay? Fill in the numbers. I ran the numbers and this is what I came up with. Actually, let me make this big for y'all so y'all can see this. Okay. Thanks. I ran the numbers and this is what we came up with. Because you're in a town of less than blank, and it's considered a tertiary market, we cannot, and you can change this as well too, all right? So this one right here, you could change tertiary market. If it's a secondary market, you could change that, okay? Because you're in a town of less than blank, it's considered a tertiary market, and we cannot pay a super low cap rate at this asking price that you have that you calculated at blank at the cap rate, okay? So we cannot pay a super low cap rate at this price, all right? Because it comes out to this cap rate, okay? This cap rate is like super low. Like the reason being that there's no bank that's going to finance a facility for that low in your market or any market right now based on the current market conditions. As you know, interest rates were raised yesterday and will be raised again twice this year. And the bank wants a 1.3 DSR, and at that price, it's coming out to this DSR, right? It's impossible to achieve that at this asking price, okay? On top of that, we need our cash on cash return to be at 10% or higher. We always shoot for 10% on our cash on cash return, okay? We don't do anything less than 10% cash on cash return. All right, so this is different. Like this might be a different scenario if you were like in multifamily, because I hear like multifamily is going for like 6% cash on cash or something like super low. But we should always say we don't buy anything for less than 10% cash on cash return. And the only way we can achieve this is by lowering the purchase price. If you're open to owner financing, you'll be able to make an additional blank amount of money and save money on your taxes. Would you be interested in discussing this? Okay, so this is the same script. You can take a screenshot of this and use this, and then you can just, change it so it doesn't sound like you already. But this script right here is like when we send the offer over, this is the script that goes with the offer. Okay, this is the script that goes with the offer. So I wanted to show this to you and just make sure that you guys had this as well. I call it the magic script, and this is the same thing. Okay, this is the same script. Okay. So that's the script that we're using. I'm telling you, if you can, send your offer over and and then send this over with it in the email, however you send your offers over, then a lot of times they'll write back and, and they'll say like, yeah, let's meet on Zoom or let's meet face to face or whatever it is. But this script here really is what's getting me to be meeting more and more owners, either on the phone or Zoom. A lot of the owners, a lot of them, I wouldn't say a lot, I say 50-50, 50% of them will want to be on the phone, and 50% of them will hop on Zoom. And I really love hopping on Zoom because then we could see each other face to face. Right. And now, obviously, if it's in your area and you could drive over there, then you could just drive over and meet them face to face. That's like the best way. That's the best way to talk to owners. But if you can't meet them face to face, then you can always just hop on Zoom and give them a call. Never, ever, ever like just say a number over the phone. Like you want to send a nice offer over. Like on a letterhead, explaining yourself, explaining who you are, what you're doing, here's your offers, you're open to discussing it on Zoom. Now, another thing that we do also with offers is we also have, like, I call them virtual negotiation, which is like, it's me, it's like a video message from me. So like, my VAs will send over a quick message like from Stacy. It says like, hey, like, thank you so much for taking the time to give us the information for the offer. I'm Stacy. I'm a real person. And, I just want to introduce myself. If you're interested in meeting me in person, I can either call you or I can hop on Zoom. And we send that over sometimes as well, too, like as for credibility purposes is what we'll do. Right. Because, you're just talking to owners and they're just like, who are these people? It's like, OK, this is Stacy. This is what she does. I'm a real person. This is why we're giving you this offer. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you have screenshots of that. All right, so you have it. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to just answer some questions. And I'll bring my chair over here. Thank you guys for being patient. I know it's like our first time on the Vibe, but I'm going to get very, very good at this. But I wanted to answer some questions for you. Does anybody have any questions in the chat before we hop off and go to the next section? Put them into the chat. Let me see here. All about this. Okay, good. Okay, tried to screenshot, but wasn't able to read it all. Okay, well, you'll be able to watch, you'll be able to get the scripts if you buy the course. The scripts are in the course and they're also in the coaching program. Okay, and then let me see what else. Do you need to know the owner's name to do the skip tracing? Yes. I know, actually, no. The only thing that you need to know is the address of the property. Okay, that's it. You only need to know the address of the property. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, good. Now I have this I have it this way. Let me see if I can move my screen this way out of there. You go. Perfect. Okay, so let me get in here so I could just play around with this. Okay, how do you feel about new construction? I love new construction. All right. How do you find a good location? You need to do a feasibility study for new construction. That's what you need to do. So we have actually tomorrow, we have a person, her name is Catherine. She does feasibility studies and she's coming into the coaching program and she's going to talk about how to do feasibility studies. But that's what you need to do for new construction is you need to do feasibility study. All right. So you find a piece of land. You're like, you're thinking like, yeah, this might be a good place to have a storage facility. And then you do what's called a feasibility study. And either you can do it yourself or you can have somebody pay, you can pay for it. It costs a couple $1,000s or more, but it's not, but if you're but actually a bank would require that as well too. If you were going to get a loan from a bank, they would require a feasibility study. And then they'll go through and they'll do their due diligence and tell you like, yes, this is a good location or no, this is not a good location. Okay. And let's see what else. What app do you use for driving for dollars, especially keeping track of which roads covered? Yeah, so I don't really use an app, honestly. I use Google Maps and we use Landglide, but we don't really keep track of like where we're going or anything like that. I don't know of any app that does that, honestly. So I'm kind of like old school. I just like use Google Maps. If anybody else has a suggestion for an app that maybe keeps track of which roads you covered, please put that in the chat because I do not know at all what it is. Okay, what's the best way to build lists in secondary and tertiary markets? So you have to watch my videos on YouTube because I have like a gazillion videos about this, really. How to build your list, how to build a list from secondary and tertiary markets. And we use Google Maps, but there's a whole bunch of different ways to do this. All right, there's like 15 different ways to find storage facilities, and I go over all 15 of those ways either in YouTube if you want to go through and weed through all those, or you can join the coaching program and then I'll teach you how to do that. Our next boot camp is coming up in the next couple of weeks, in like 2 weeks, and I'll teach that in the boot camp. Okay. Let me see what else. For self-storage business, is a better way to buy existing or build from scratch? It's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I mean, like, you have to have a very strong stomach if you want to build, because it takes years. Okay, this is not something that you just like buy a piece of land and build, because you have to do like pre-development work and then development work, and then you have to build it, you have to construct it, and then you have to lease it up, right? So it's like a 3-part phase, like pre-development, buying the land, getting the entitlement work done, and then you have to develop it and build it, and then you have to lease it up. All right, so that's like, it's just a long process. It takes years to do that. If you want to just buy, like, that's why a lot of people just buy, like, I just go out and just buy a facility because all that work is already done. But you can make more money with new construction. You're definitely going to make more money if you do the new construction. You just have to know that it's going to take more time. I had one student that he's in Texas, and he lives in Florida. He bought 2 facilities in Texas. One of the facilities, the first facility that he bought, was a brand new facility that somebody built. And that person, it took them almost 2 years to build the facility. And then he sold it as soon as it was done. There was no tenants. All right. So it was like 100 units. And so I think it cost like 500 grand or something to build it. And I don't know, that was several years ago. So the prices may go up. But like it cost like 500 grand. He sold it to my student for $1 million. So he made like $500,000 on it. And then my student leased it up. And a year and a half later, he sold it for $2 million. Or like maybe, I think like 1.78, 1.8, maybe something like that. Okay, but closer to $2 million. So, I mean, in all of the different phases, everybody made money, right? But the truth is, if you like built that and then held on to it and then sold it when it was actually leased up, you would have made like $1 million, $1.3 million or something like that. Okay, so just think about that in terms of that. What do you think about a storage facility with no outdoor access, only indoor? Love it. Love it. In fact, we're in the process, we're getting a storage facility under contract right now where it's all indoor storage. There's nothing wrong with that. We have another facility that has indoor storage as well. So yeah, just as long as it's a different market. It's a different market, that's the main thing. And you just have to keep that in mind, is that it's going to be a different, it's more expensive, so it's a different type of like person that's going to be leasing it out. Okay, and if it's indoor storage, is it in the right market? You know what I'm saying? Like we have one student that has a facility in a very tertiary market, and it has indoor and then also has outdoor, and the outdoor is like super cheap and the indoor is obviously more expensive, and he has a harder time filling the indoor than he does the outdoor because it's such a tertiary market. So that's the main thing too. That's why you don't see a lot of like climate control stuff in like tertiary markets, because sometimes it's a little bit harder to feel. But if you have a question about that, you should really get a feasibility study and then really look into that. Is that a good area or not? Okay, so my virtual assistants all live in the Philippines. All right, they're all in the Philippines. All right, and they are putting facilities under contract almost on a weekly basis now, and they're not even in the country. All right, so if they can do it, you can do it. You do not have to be. All my 11 facilities. No, that's not true. 10 of my facilities, not the 11th one. We found driving for storage. So for like a long time, I was pushing driving for storage. And I believe that driving for storage is the best way, because driving for storage equals market research. Okay. And it really kind of gets you to know the area. But if you can't do that, or if you don't want to buy in your area, then really virtual driving for storage is the way to go. And that's how all my virtual assistants do it, is they just virtually drive for storage, build their list, call, virtually drive, build their list, call, and that's kind of how they do it. So if they can do it, you can do it. Good. What else? Did I miss anything? Okay, good. It looks like I got everything. So just a reminder, the StorageNerds doors are open. They're open this week and next week. I open them every year for 2 weeks. And I take 20 students. And then I take those 20 students from like not owning a facility to having it under contract. Within the next 90 days, and then closing on that facility in 6 months. So that's really the goal of the coaching program. And so if you're interested in actually owning a facility in the next 6 months, then I highly recommend checking out StorageNerds, StorageNerds.com. I'm taking applications right now, and the doors will close, at the end of this month. And then we'll have the boot camp in the first weekend of February. Okay. All right, I'm going to hop off and go get ready for my pitch, since I'm like trying to figure this board out. I want to pitch it on this board as well too, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there and putting up with all this. But I promise over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'll get really good at this, and I'll be able to really teach and really get some good material out there for you. All right. Okay, and then for the pitch, you want to go to stacyrossetti.com/fund, FUND. Okay, stacyrossetti.com/fund. Okay, I will see you guys next week. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Storage Nerds. Hope this informative conversation inspired you to go out there and jump into this highly profitable business venture that people rarely talk about. Get more tips on storage space investing at www.stacyrossetti.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave a rating. Together, let's build that thriving passive income one storage space at a time. Until next time.